Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Twist Gaming. We are streaming live here from Origins 2019, bringing you some of the best board game coverage in the industry with some of the best board game publishers. We are here with you today now with our buddies over at theop.
Yeah, we're glad to be here.
Long time no see.
I know.
Yeah, yesterday.
Doing all right?
I'm recovering from my beatdown in Harry Potter Hogwarts battle.
They were so pretty and shiny, and I just wanted to give them to
You did.
you,
It
Roz.
was great. I just took them
All
again
7 of
and
them.
again and again, right off the board. It was great.
So again, I want to thank you both very much and theop for sponsoring our stream, all of this convention. It's absolutely very generous of you guys. We appreciate it, and genuinely, without your support, we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing. So we appreciate you kind of, believing in us and supporting us and allowing us to bring everybody at home this kind of front row seat to the convention.
We're glad to make it happen. Very much so.
Additionally, we wanted to show how much we really loved the things that theop does.
Oh.
So this year we did our board game awards for 2018. So what we do when we do our board game awards is we look at all of the games we've played from the year prior. Each of us has very different play styles. We independently vote on which games we really loved, which games we didn't love so much, and announce a winner. And so our winner for last year, the Game of the Year 2018, for all three of us, is Thanos Rising.
Oh, my
So
goodness. Thank you so much.
It's for you guys.
Oh, that's great.
Look at that.
That's so good. Oh, guys, thank you.
Well, thank you, and
That's
thank
great.
thank you
Thanks.
guys for making fantastic board games that we all really, really love and enjoy.
Yeah, Thanos is awesome. I mean, that
Yeah.
game has just done so well, and it's been really cool to see all the community support for it. And we constantly get, oh my gosh, more promo cards. We need these things, and the gameplay has been awesome. And it's been good to see a game that is very hobby, but at the same time be able to be very inviting.
It's accessible.
Yeah, for a lot of people, and it really does that. And we've kind of kept it going too with our Dark Side Rising, which got announced for Star Wars, and so it'll be kind of cool to see how we can get on with you guys. But yeah, thank you, and Thanos is super cool. We're happy to support.
Thank you. Thank you. So aside from the wonderful award, which I hope you display prominently.
Oh, we will. It'll find a home in our studio. It'll be good.
You guys have even more games with your huge production schedule. You have a couple more games tonight to show us.
We do.
We do.
What did you bring for me?
We've got Die Hard, the Nakatomi Heist. And do we want to show the other one yet?
Oh, no. Let's go for Die Hard first.
We'll do Die Hard first. We'll tease that there's another one, but we won't go there yet.
Ooh. All right. Well, over to the board cam?
Let's do it.
All right.
So, when we started designing Die Hard, the Nakatomi Heist, we knew right away we wanted to do something that honored the movie. The movie is the greatest action movie of all time. It's the kind of movie that you want to sit down and quote with your friends and just throw lines back and forth. And, remember that scene where,
Watch on Christmas?
You watch it on Christmas. Greatest Christmas movie of all time. So we knew right off the bat we needed a game that would just be completely immersive as an experience of the movie. So we took a sponge, we soaked it in the film, and then we just squeezed it onto the game board.
Nice.
That's how games are made?
That's how the games are made.
That's
Just threw some stuff on a board and just juiced it with a movie. That sounds good.
Cool. So with that,
So on that note.
So Die Hard, the Nakatomi Heist is a one versus many game for 2 to 4 players, in which one player plays as John McClane, and 1 to 3 players can play as the thieves working for Hans Gruber. It plays out in 3 acts, and in each of the acts, the two sides have a set of objectives taken straight out of the movie. In the first act, John McClane has to find a radio, he has to find a machine gun, and he has to kill a thief, check out his shoes, and discover that he's killed the only thief that has shoes smaller than his sister.
That's quite specific.
Well, it's right out of the movie.
Yeah.
It's
Fair enough.
So we packed, anywhere we could find a place to put quotes or movie references, they're in there. If you love Die Hard the movie, and who doesn't, you're going to find a lot to like about this game.
It's a true good movie.
And what's very fun, too, is the game is very cinematic. So a lot of the tactics that you're doing in the game, so John needs to move around so that he can find the different pieces. He's hiding around corners and hiding around these glass pieces and so
crawling through the vents
and all these kinds of things like that. And so as each act goes on, the board opens up. So Act 1 goes this way, Act 2, the board folds over there, and you've got and then when you finally get to Act 3, you get full presence of the board, and it kind of shows up there, which is super awesome. which we can get that
There
right
we
there.
go.
And so on the Act 1 to Act 2 to Act 3, and then eventually you end up on the 30th floor, where John finally meets Hans
Well, on the
Gruber.
roof, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and then back. Yes,
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, right. And so it's the whole thing there, which is super fantastic. And the game really jumps into that really well.
Yeah.
And what's neat, too, is the whole time while John is doing different things, the thieves are trying to unlock things out of the safe.
Right.
And so they've got a whole other ability they're doing on. So Fletch, how do their cards work?
So the thieves have a set of 6 locks that they're trying to unlock, and the locks are built out of cards from this deck here that just look like this. And the thieves will play 1 card from each player's hand, and if we've got a 2-player game, we'll have 1 card off the top of the deck. And the thieves add the cards from their hand to this communal set.
Okay.
Then they turn the cards over. You'll see that there's a number in the top corner of each card.
I'm going to throw this up in the
Yeah,
camera.
yeah, do it up.
They're green,
Let's
so it's going to
see
be
how it looks.
transparent.
Oh
That's
boy,
terrible.
this is
But
adventures in.
Look at that.
Oh, it's good.
Wow.
Terrible. It's pretty bad. But you can see the elements of the card.
We can see the number and we can see the action. So that's the important part. We can see that this one says "Don't hesitate to kill." So line straight from the movie. So what we'll do is we'll take these 3 cards and we'll put them in numeric order. If you want to do that right up there on the
11, 13, 15?
11,
go.
13, 15.
Numbers are good.
You would.
So when the thieves have 3 cards out in front of them, they'll take the 2 outer cards and separate them from the center card.
Okay.
The 2 outer cards, you'll see the white digit there, the 5 and the 1.
Okay.
Those are numbers that they can hack on the lock. And if those 2 numbers are adjacent on the combination for the lock,
So
do you
this is
want
the
to...
locker, yeah?
Yep.
Yep. Maybe we put that over there so we can see it. If the 2 numbers are adjacent on the lock, they can cover both of them. So in this case, they had a 5 and a 1, so you can put cubes on both of those. Now, if they didn't have 2 adjacent numbers, they would put a cube on one number or the other, but not both.
Okay.
Then that middle card that we've covered up,
The 13.
the 13,
Yeah.
that card becomes their actions for the turn. And you'll see that there's 3 actions listed on that card, and we've got a couple of thieves on the board over here.
So we have move, punch, and shoot.
They have move, punch, and shoot. So if we... Can we see the board?
Yeah, we can.
Awesome, thank you. You've got 3 thieves right now on the board. You can divide your actions between these 3 thieves. So you could move, you could punch, and you can shoot. Whenever there's an action that you can't use right away, you can change that into a move 1. So the thieves' goals right from the start are to find 3 hostages hiding under the green chips, to deal 5 damage to John McClane, and then to track John McClane's movements by stepping onto 2 red spaces after John McClane has taken the chips off of them.
Okay.
So right now we can't get in range to shoot or to punch John McClane. Our best bet is to try to track down the hostages by using our move actions. We can trade a move here, trade a shoot action to move him 1, and then use the movements to go 1, 2, 3. It takes 2 steps to move into an obstruction space where the hostages might be hiding.
Okay.
And we reveal, oh, we didn't find a hostage.
No.
If we had,
Depending on
I
who
guess
you
if
are.
you're a hostage, you might not want to be found.
Yeah.
And if we had another move 3, we could then move 1, 2, 3 into this space, and oh, we found a hostage. So as you find the hostages, they come up and they sit on the objective cards. For the thieves, once the objective cards are complete, you get to add extra cubes to your lock mechanism. And the reason you want to do that is once you've gotten through all 6 locks, you progress on throughout the game to Act 3, where you're on the roof, and if the thieves can blow up the roof after unlocking all 6 locks to the vault, then the FBI comes in, they shut down the power grid, the last vault opens up, and the thieves get away with $640 million in bearer bonds.
Bearer bonds.
Bearer bonds.
Bearer bonds.
Very specific.
Bear bonds? No, bearer bonds.
Yeah.
John McClane, on the other hand, is trying to get through all 3 acts and make his way up to the roof so he can swing off the roof with a fire hose, crash into the 30th floor, and beat the pulp out of Hans Gruber so that he falls out the window. And when that happens, John McClane wins. And somewhere in between, there's this fight that's going on where the thieves want to kill John McClane because he's cooler than they are, and they
Obviously.
envy him.
That's true.
And if they can kill John McClane in the time that John is trying to work his way to Hans Gruber, then the thieves win.
Okay.
And that's pretty much a quick overview
Yeah.
of Die Hard.
Yep. John's got this cool mechanic where when he plays cards from his hand, they go to a played cards pile. So these cards
You can pop up on the
pop one up here. You can see that John's action cards show actions for Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3. In Act 1, you're only going to use the Act 1 actions, but every time you play a card, it goes into a played cards pile, which then those cards get added to his deck for Act 2, and then later into his deck for Act 3, so that when John progresses into those acts and draws those cards, if he plays those cards, they have better actions than the base actions for Act 2 or Act 3 would.
Gotcha.
So you want to get as many cards from Act 1 as you can into your played cards pile,
Right.
because it's going to help shape the actions that you get in later acts. If you play a lot of shoot actions early in the game, you'll have a lot more shoot actions later in the game, and you'll be better at it. But that means you might not move as swiftly, or you might not be as stealthy. So maybe you want to use stealth actions early in the game, but the offset to that is that you won't have as many attack actions.
So it's kind of a neat little playthrough as John's got to figure out what he's got to engage with, while at the same time the thieves want to kill John, but also kind of playing cards where they can unlock the safe.
Yeah.
And so it's got a fun little playthrough to it, and I've really enjoyed doing it. Act 1 has been played a whole bunch.
Oh yeah, the demos have been going great.
Yeah, it's in packed. We've had just people walking around. Oh my gosh, I gotta watch and see what's going on.
There's been a lot of buzz about it. I've been hearing a lot of people asking about what it's like, and it's fantastic that you guys have it for demo here. 2 to 4 players. How does it scale? Does it scale well?
It scales really well. It took us a little while to figure out how to make the thieves work when you've got 1 thief, 2 thieves, or 3 thieves. And when you're playing with only 1 thief, you've got 1 hand of cards. You get 2 cards off the top of the deck blind. You get to peek at 1, and then you add a card from your hand there. So it simulates having 2 extra thieves through the entire process of the game.
Yeah.
Right. When you've only got 2 thieves, we would look at 1 card off the top of the deck, each choose our cards and put them in. And when you have 3 thieves, then 1 player is the lead thief, shows a card from their hand to the other players, and everyone adds a card into that.
But a pretty good house rule too, even though I know we work there, but it's pretty fun to throw around, is as the main thieves pass around the main thief token, having a Hans Gruber impression really helps for it. So
that's not an official
Mr.
rule?
McLean, I am an exceptional thief.
That's right. Yeah.
And a terrible impersonator.
Oh, that was pretty wonderful to me.
It was pretty good. Yeah. So and that's Die Hard Nakatomi Heist. We'll have it available in August later this year, which is gonna be fantastic. People can pick it up, and we'll have more for it soon.
Fantastic, but it is available for demo right now, so if you are live at the convention, you can demo it down at the booth.
Yeah, we're here for 2 more days, showing it off, and we are excited to play it and make it happen.
Love giving people tours of the 31st floor.
Yeah.
How many times did you watch the movie?
I had probably seen it 3 or 4 times before I started designing the game, and then when we found out we were going to get to design a game for Die Hard, I looked at my wife and I said, okay, we're renting it this weekend, and I watched it probably 3 or 4 more times that weekend. And then I had it on a constant stream of fast forward, rewind, fast forward, rewind, fast forward for days at the office.
But it's fun. It's good.
It means you did your research.
We're
well appreciated.
We're all about it.
Holiday promos.
And so for holiday promos, that's a really good question, and I don't want to spoil anything we're doing for Gen Con, but ho ho ho, we may have some holiday promos at Gen Con, so be sure to come on by and join us for the party pal. It'll be good. I'm just throwing out the quotes there. I need to stop. But yeah, so be sure to come by. It's going to be cool. Obviously, the game is very red and green too, so we know we acknowledge which it is the best Christmas film.
Best Christmas game ever now.
Yeah, I mean it's right up there, right?
So it's coming out in August. That's great to start your holiday shopping early.
Yeah, beat the rush.
Oh, I mean it's definitely up there. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's official Christmas game.
I mean we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
So Die Hard is not the only game you came to show, though. You guys kind of hinted that you had a little something extra.
We did. So we brought Toy Story Obstacles and Adventures. So this got announced on Monday. This is our new deck building game, and so it's a 5-player game, a 2 to 5 player game, or I guess 1 to 5 player game, if you really felt like it. And you're playing through the 4 animated movies of Toy Story and the 2 animated shorts. And so they're put in there, and so it's made. You can play as Buzz, Woody, Rex, and so on. And as you're doing all these things, and you're playing in the back of it too, you can check it out right there. Show the viewers too.
Of course.
Which is super fun.
Let's see.
Oh,
Look at that.
Yeah, there we go. Right, and it's boom, boom,
Bam.
and with that, it's super fun, and it's got that good Toy Story vibe to it. We're really excited. Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle did a great job of bringing kids and being able for families to play together, and we feel that this is really going to kind of level that up.
Okay.
In a really good way. You can play with 5 people at the same time, and it's made for kids, but at the same time, it has that great hobby feel for board gamers that want to play games and do things, and it's just as challenging as any other game that we've done with our deck building.
So you say that you're playing through the movies and it's deck building. What are you kind of doing?
Fletch?
So each of the chapters in the game, each of the stories in the game is based on an individual film. So in the first game, your goal is to go up against Sid. Sid is your primary obstacle. In the second game,
You don't want to just spoil too
let's
much.
not spoil too much. Each of the stories within the game follows the story of the film or the animated short.
So there's obstacles and hazards essentially that you're trying to work to overcome and do. So you need to make sure that you've played enough cards to defeat this thing.
This
and do
obstacle.
that. So yes, so you're not battling anybody, and there's no fighting in it.
Okay.
It's more of the toys making sure they can solve the puzzles.
So it's a little cooperative between the deck building. You're not coming up against each other.
No,
It
it is fully cooperative.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it is very fun. So we'll have more on it too. We didn't want to bring too much because it's still in its we just announced phase.
Yeah.
But it's going to be great.
I like having it on the show first.
Totally, us too. It's great.
Anything else coming down the pipeline, gentlemen?
So we've also announced. I think we had Astro Trash with you guys at PhD. That was super fun. And
Why
then
did I miss the cool games?
Oh, that was.
I
pretty
did not.
No. It's
there's more cool games.
Oh, we've
and I
got
want
so
them all.
much. So another thing we haven't brought on yet is our Talisman games.
Okay.
Right, so we have our Talisman Batman Supervillains Edition, and we have that done at the booth right now. And so that's a big Talisman game where you're playing as Batman's Rogues Gallery.
Okay.
As you're fighting through Arkham, and you want to be the king of Arkham Asylum.
That's cool.
Which is super cool. And then we have a Talisman Kingdom Hearts game that'll be coming out later this year.
That's with Elisa.
It is with
Yes.
Lisa.
Yes.
So we're doing that as well with the Kingdom Hearts, and then we have a couple other things we haven't announced yet that I just almost did, and I'm glad I didn't.
I shouldn't have said anything.
So it's all good. So we'll have more coming out there, which will be great, and we'd love to have you guys play it on a Spotlight too.
Yeah.
That would be fantastic.
So we're working on that, and then we've also got we did it yesterday, and the Court of the Dead. So we have our Court of the Dead Warner's Call game, which we had on Kickstarter last year.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah. So that'll be coming to retail. So we're gonna do a whole retail version.
So did you make any changes to the or I don't know how far you are with production or whether that's even a question that can be answered, but did you make any changes or adjustments to the game for the retail version as opposed to the Kickstarter version?
So it's going to be a 4-player version instead of a 5-player version.
Okay.
And we've it doesn't have all the Kickstarter exclusive metal components, and instead we have really, really nice cardboard chits for a lot of the skulls and the other pieces like that. And
Is Sideshow still doing the minis?
So the minis were done by the board game manufacturer. So Sideshow, of course, oversaw them and everything like that. And so, but it's all by us, and then as a collaborative effort, we did the game there. So the game's still going to have packed full of minis and the whole thing like that.
Very cool.
It's going to be great.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys very much for coming on and sharing with me about all of your new games.
Thanks for having us.
Guys, if you are here live at Origins, make sure that you stop by the Ops booth, demo all of the cool games. I'm sure they would appreciate having you, and you guys are going to fall in love with the games that they have out there now.
That'd be great.
Where can our audience follow you to find out more?
So we're all over social media. So we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitch, all at the Op. And so you can find us at theop.games for our website. We do the Op live twice a month now, which is super fun. And we're really excited to be on, all these things to do it. We have a brand new website, so you haven't been on it yet. It's theop.games.
Okay.
And you can check it out. It's very interactive. We have a lot of cool stuff going on there.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, guys. And thank you guys for sticking around. We will be right back with more great board game coverage.